Hello there, fellow Wallalo warriors, and welcome back to the ZeroEmpires Invitational. This is round number 4, and this is the first game between JoN and Toady in this best of 3. First map, as we know, will be Team Islands, and it will be once again an Italians war. And up to the north of the map, in the green, we have got Toady, and down to the south, in the blue, we've got JoN. Both of these guys very high, well, very highly seeded in this tournament, done well so far to get through to round 4, and I'm looking forward to this set of games because I've been told that they are very good by various people. Although I have not seen the games yet, my expectations for these are going to be high. So, Team Islands, Italians war once again, and as we know, the Italians are a pretty decent naval civilization. One of their bonuses being that their fishing ships get a bonus line of sight. I believe it's an extra 2. Also worth noting, they've started with cows on this map, which should be an interesting little change to the way that the game may progress, as cows have 150 food rather than the 100 food that a sheep has. Toady luring in that ball there with his scout cavalry, very, very nicely done. Both of them getting their docks up at the moment as well. And we can see already that Toady has already taken his first ball much faster than JoN. And bear with me while I've got this in fast speed. We are just going to zoom through the Dark Age because we have seen it a million times before. And playback in AOF is a little bit weird on normal speed. So I kind of want to get the Dark Age out of the way here. But while it's still dark and they'll be going up to fuel in a minute, we'll have a quick look at their maps very quickly here. Toady's May Gold, I noticed, is in a pretty bad position actually. Behind this lumber camp, it's blocked off by trees, many trees, and that is really awkward for him. I mean, a mining camp here will be very inefficient. His other options, well, he's got gold down here and here, though they are smaller gold piles and possibly reachable from the shore as well if JoN even gets out some war galleys with bodkin arrow. I think they might be able to reach over there. So definitely for Toady, a bit of a bad gold placement. And I mean, he's going up to the feudal age now. Ideally, he wants to be starting to take some gold, and at the moment, he's sending 4 villagers over. It looks like he will take the gold on the hill here. Also, while we're at it, worth noting, these cows are still very much alive, and they still have a lot of food on them, which is, like I said, the bonus or the benefit of having cows. And I think in the Forgotten, that little difference between having cows or sheep could be a real game changer. And I never really thought about it that way until now. You know, if you spawn with cows, it might entirely change your strategy than if you spawn with, say for instance, sheep. But either way, off to a pretty decent start, and Toady is up. I believe he's up first. Let's have a look. JoN is just a fraction of a second behind, but at this stage it is very, very close. Also, worth noting, Italians do have cheaper upgrade costs, so I'll double check that in the tech tree. Advancing to the next age costs 10% less, so it does mean that they don't need the full 500 food to go up to the feudal age, which is very nice. Of course, it's 10% cheaper. So that is a good bonus for the Italians to have, especially on a water map where getting an early feudal time and a quick galley rush is very crucial. So there we go, they're both up to feudal and they are both very close in time as well. I'm just going to turn the game sound up slightly here because it is a little bit quiet. I had to change my levels around for the Colosseum scenario that I made a video of. So Toady's up slightly faster, but I think by the time he's travelled across the water, he won't have. JoN will also have the first wave of ships out even. But Toady's interesting because he's gone up on 2 docks and he's not added in the 3rd dock at all, and that is really unusual. You would expect at least 3 docks in a Team Islands situation, but Toady's going up on the 2, and his fishing ships here, even with that extra line of sight, haven't been able to spot JoN, but it's pretty obvious where he's going to be, and that is on the other side of this little bit of water, which is exactly where Toady finds him. Now, JoN has gone for the 3 docks, which does, of course, mean that we can expect JoN to perhaps start to pull ahead on the waterfront here. You've got to bear in mind that Toady's just put up a barracks, so there's no indication there at all that he's going to be putting up a third dock at any point here whatsoever. So Toady's just coming in with these galleys, trying to sink these fishing ships as best he can and remove that advantage from his opponent. Also, note, Toady only has 3 fishing ships of his own. He didn't build the 4th, and therefore, I mean, he's already in a pretty good position. If he micromanages this one well, then, you know, he could find himself really starting to pull ahead here. JoN, though, of course, with the 3 docks, will have better galley production and will start to gain in numbers. Of course, that could be delayed slightly if Toady does micro well. And at the moment, it does seem fairly even. They've both lost 0 ships for now. Toady moving his fishing ships into safety as well. And at the moment, neither of them really doing a whole lot of damage. But JoN did lose a fishing ship there. JoN as well just sticking up a blacksmith now. He's going to get that fletching research relatively quickly. Has got that extra food and gold in the bank, of course, thanks to saving a little bit of food even on the fuel age upgrade and having those lovely tasty beefy cows underneath the town centre. But JoN starting to pull ahead on the water now, as we can see, getting ahead in the galleys. And is Toady still making galleys? Yes, he is, but he's definitely showing JoN at this point that he does not have good galley production, and JoN should be immediately twigging here. He should be thinking, hang on a minute, Toady was up to the fuel age first. If he's on 3 docks, then he's definitely going to be matching my numbers, because, you know, the kill to lost ratio is very similar. So JoN's coming in towards the docks here. He'll see the 2 docks, but he won't see the 3rd, and that should set alarm bells ringing for JoN, because he knows that this is not going to be a conventional play. Toady coming in for the fishing ships once again, though. He knows that his fishing ships are going to be taken down, and JoN's going to move his ships back to the safety of his galleys. Will Toady get these 2 ships? Because if he doesn't, that could be quite a large blow for him. You know, it could be a little bit of a problem. But, oh man, I wish we could just rewind that. Because Toady just let out the transport ship from that dock, but I think the fishing ships may have seen it. Whether or not JoN was aware, we will have to wait and see. But at this stage, JoN should be sticking up a barracks or something along those lines, because you've got to think your opponent, 2 docks, very few galleys. They're obviously doing a landing, and that is exactly what Toady is going to do here. 4 archers out in this archery range already, and he will go for probably 5 and a landing across. Whether or not he sends a villager is yet to be seen, but he's got docks around the back as well. Interesting. The question is, where did that transport ship go, and why can I not see it anywhere? The landing definitely hasn't happened yet, so I mean, JoN's obviously up to something here. He's obviously got something planned, but I don't know what happened with that landing ship. The transport ship just seemingly disappeared off the face of the earth, and maybe it will show up again later. Maybe I'm just blind. Ah, there it is. It's over here, blending in on the map with the color of the terrain slightly. So 5 archers to go across. Fletching hasn't been done yet, but the blacksmith is on the way up for Toady now. And with the 2 docks at the back, I mean, I wouldn't have expected to see that, but he's got to, I guess, keep some galleys coming out somewhere. It's worth noting Toady is continuing that galley production, so he's not going to go entirely all in on this landing, but it is a risky play to make. You've got to bear in mind that Toady's playing from behind in terms of water control now. JoN has a big galley advantage, and although Toady's now up to 4 docks, he's going to struggle making galleys from all 4, as well as making archers to transport over. But if he does enough eco damage to JoN, it might work out, it might be justified, but I'm concerned that JoN's going to be going castle soon, and indeed he is. Very close to the castle age. Bear in mind then, again, that is 10% cheaper for him to go to castle, so he will save significant amounts of food and gold in doing so, and lowering his requirements, resource requirements to go castle even, will enable JoN to go up all that more faster, more quickly as well. So landing. It's here. It's around the back. But Toady decides to get back into the ship. Perhaps he saw... No, he didn't see it. Maybe he did, actually. Maybe he saw the bears and thought, hang on a minute, I don't want to fight that. Because bears are nasty. Bears will maul your archers if you let them loose on them. Ooh, scout patrolling by JoN, though, here. And he may... Oh, you're kidding me. JoN's patrolling his scout back and forth, but Toady's going to slip by. The question is, will JoN see the dead corpse of the bear? Well, we will see. There's the corpse. That should alert JoN if he's paying attention to his scout. That is the question. That corpse should tell him everything he needs to know. In fact, there's the archers just slipping by his point of view, but I don't think he has any idea yet. And that's the kind of map awareness that is very, very hard to gain. It's something that top players and expert players will have. But it comes with a lot of practice and a lot of time. And JoN's been given the slip by Toady here, and worth noting as well, JoN adding in more fishing ships here, confident that he has the water control, and of course he would be right, the water control is his for now. But Toady is continuing to add in docks at the back and keep those galleys coming out. So perhaps we'll see him try and retake the water at some point. But here's the archers coming in, +1 attack, and range is done. And they're going to go right into that lumber line. And Toady is going to get 1 or 2 kills for sure. JoN, of course, disrupted. His wood income severely hampered now, and of course that lack of wood at this point is going to stop him from being able to produce or afford to keep making ships. Toady coming in as well at the front at the same time during that distraction. Excellent play. Coming in with those 3 galleys there. Going to pick off 1 fishing ship for sure and going to be looking for more. But he doesn't realise that JoN actually has tens of the things over here. Watchtower going up on that gold. And it looks like Toady's going to continue to pick off some villagers for now as JoN scrambles to get that tower up. And of course this is a really big mistake from JoN because he doesn't have a barracks at this point. Bringing in the villagers to fight, but Toady's going to micromanage away, and you know, these archers, they may get cleared up, but for JoN at this stage, losing way too many villagers, 3, 4, 5, 6 villagers down, I think, probably 7 by the time Toady's done, and yeah, that's the 7th villager, I believe, as JoN gets that tower up and garrisons up inside so that he can keep himself safe. But this is the problem now. JoN did not have the time. He didn't have the time to react, and he didn't have the barracks up, so he couldn't put down an archery range and start to counter this. And now, of course, he's getting that archery range up, but, you know, his wood's been hurt. And he's going to have a massive surplus of food very soon. He already has a massive surplus of food, thanks to all of these fishing ships, which he spent all of that lovely important wood on. I believe he may have just bought, yeah, he just built a market and bought some stone as well. So, JoN's economy... not in a good place at the moment, but I'd rather buy that 100 stone than risk losing even more villagers in this wood line. Toady losing that first archer, second archer going down, but I tell you what, 2 archers for 7 or 8 villagers is very, very good, and that watchtower will defend this lumber camp for now, as JoN is 91% up to the castle age. Toady, on the other hand, 10% up, and JoN hasn't thought to actually scout anywhere else. He's taken down the forward dock from Toady, and in fact, he's missing a golden opportunity here. He must know, yeah. Look at that, those berry bushes, he knows they're there, but you know what he hasn't done? He hasn't checked to see if any villagers are gathering from them, and if he did, I mean, he could get 3 or 4 easy villager kills if he brings his galleys over into range of that berry bush. Meanwhile, Toady's still got his archers on the island of JoN. JoN's trying to wall up, but, you know, this has cost him quite significantly. He may have the fishing ship advantage, but he has lost the villager count that he needs at this stage, so, you know, it's probably neck and neck in eco. At least, I'd say, at least, Toady maybe even gaining the advantage at this point, doing really nice eco damage. Toady's halfway up to castle. Of course, JoN has got the war galley upgrade done, and that dock on the front gonna go down now, as that's 2 down for him, but Toady's got 5 docks on the back, and not only now has he done the damage on the land, but he's not going to do any more damage on the land. And I tell you what, this is really clever play from Toady, because JoN has really overcompensated on defending this landing. I mean, think about the damage that this landing has done. Not only has it killed off 7 or 8 villagers with 5 archers. Not only has he done that, but JoN's reaction, building a barracks, building an archery range, researching crossbowmen, buying 100 stone to put up an extra watchtower, even putting up a single watchtower, building these walls. It all adds up, and that is a huge amount of resources that JoN has spent. He's lost time. He's having now to take stone as well. And this has screwed his economy up so much. And, you know, he's expecting almost another landing at any point, but it's not going to come. Oh, and instead what's going to happen is Toady going up to the castle age, going to try and retake the water very quickly by adding in these galleys, doing the war galley upgrade, and of course going for bodkin arrow once he can afford it, lacking the gold at the moment. But this is a huge problem because JoN, I don't know if he's going to be able to keep galley production up. It looks like he's going to lose his war galleys here. Toady, though, might not get the upgrade in time. It looks like he's got enough galleys here to take this fight. Of course, JoN has got bodkin arrow done here, and he does have war galley as well. But Toady now with the war galley upgrade coming in, and JoN's going to lose those boats, that is for sure. And without any boats to protect your fishing ships, that is concerning. But look at this, I didn't even notice this one. JoN coming over with a landing of his own, some crossbows and some archery ranges. Wow, I was so caught up in the action on JoN's base that I didn't even notice this landing coming in. But Toady hasn't had to actually build any watchtowers, not had to defend yet. Might get this TC up in time to keep his villagers safe, but he may lose 3 or 4 as well. So an excellent comeback from that landing so far from JoN. And in fact, you know, he hasn't overcompensated. I got the impression that he was doing crossbow to defend back home, when in fact he was doing a counter landing, which does make more sense. But Toady with that second TC up now, keeping his villagers a little bit more safe. Of course, already with a archery range back at home. And Toady now coming for the water as well. But he needs to eliminate these fishing ships from JoN. If he can do that, he might be able to regain an advantage once again. For now, though, the scores are in favor of JoN. And I've got to say, I mean, really good play from both of these guys. You know, their micromanagement might not be top-notch. Their eco-management has been pretty decent. I've not seen many idle villagers, and, you know, that has been, it has been so far, really good play by both of them. They're both seemingly on in really good form, really good shape at the moment. JoN looking for some more kills with these crossbows. We'll find a villager on the right. What's he doing? Leaving that villager to live with 7 health. And Toady now trying to take down those docks of JoN, retaking the water in the castle age. Of course, going to be a little bit more useful to you thanks to having the war galley, which will do, of course, more damage, more range, and that is really crucial. But JoN putting up a watchtower here, going to be able to at least force Toady away from this wood, and if he can do that, that will work out very well for him. Toady, on the other hand, though, coming in with the villagers, and he's going to try and stop this from happening with a villager rush. The crossbows are a little bit out of position to actually stop these villagers from going in and stopping this watchtower from going up. So Toady now should be okay to stop that watchtower. Of course, got to be careful with these crossbows still. Meanwhile, Toady's still trying to take down the docks and the galleys of JoN, and so far he is succeeding, bringing his galleys across here as his own villagers take a little bit of pummeling from the water as well. But obviously, if Toady's got his war galleys here, he will pick off the rest of these dudes and probably kill the war galleys as well at the moment, because he does have a big advantage on the water at this moment in time. Toady did make a mangonel though, and I'm starting to wonder if that was really the right decision at this point, because he's not really going to need it, it seems. Not yet, anyway. Toady continuing to come in though. More war galleys, of course, both of them even on the upgrades with +2/+2. Bodkin arrow. Wow, I don't know how I stuttered on bodkin arrow. Bodkin arrow. Wow, these crossbow still back here though, doing decent damage to this wood line. But it looks like Toady will definitely take the water from JoN. I mean, actually, I might be wrong. JoN gonna keep those galleys coming out, and yeah, I take that back. Toady may just lose this one. He's looking outnumbered now, and JoN, of course, with the much faster reinforcement time from the docks there. Toady gonna get cleaned up then at last on the water, or once again even on the water. But I mean, so far it's been a really nice back and forth game. Toady though with the disadvantage now at the moment. Whoa, that villager, 2 health, killing that bear there. Told you they were vicious. But yeah, Toady behind in scores at the moment. JoN looking good for now. His economy is getting back up to speed. That second TC is now up, and I imagine he'll be looking for the third fairly soon. Has he got the resources? Well, he's got the stone, but he doesn't have the wood at this point. Well, he's got plenty of gold, very little food coming in, and that's because these fishing ships were displaced, and he's having to now build the dock in the corner of the map here to try and take these fish. But JoN has regained water control. It looks like he's sinking a lot of his resources into boats, and I don't blame him. Having water control makes you and helps you feel safe, even if it's not 100% necessary. We cannot see extra stats, unfortunately. It would be nice to see how many units killed, etc. But we can always look at that at the end of the game. Speed things up through the sort of middle section of the game here, though. Not a huge amount of action for now. Both of them just building up their ecos back at home. And we will see a little bit of a fight in the corner. JoN hunting Toady down. Question is, does he have the numbers? He doesn't feel confident. He's going back. But is he just luring Toady in? I don't know. This could be quite an even fight, actually. JoN looks like he got more kills to begin with, but it looks like Toady will push him away for now. And of course, Toady, once again, with the faster reinforced time here, helping him out massively. So at the moment, I mean, we've come to a kind of a standstill. Not a whole lot of action from either of them, but we do have this little scuffle in the north. Neither of them really persisting on each other's islands. So these archery ranges from JoN are idle at the moment, and it looks like they will be for a while. Fight up in the top right still going on though, and I think Toady's got this one still. He does, as I say, have the faster reinforced time, which means his galleys will be getting there much faster, and it seems like, yeah, JoN's gonna go back, and I don't know how costly that was to him. He's still ahead, way ahead in the scores. But yeah, it looks like these archery ranges will soon go down from JoN here. And JoN's just continuing to pump the galleys up to this right-hand side. And actually, Toady now probably going to be forced back. There we go. He's going to fall back as well. Seems like he's struggling to keep those galleys coming out at this point, which is interesting. I mean, Toady's on 68 pop, JoN on 87 even. Those fishing ships really counting a lot towards his population, actually. And it seems like JoN is starting to pull ahead at this point. I mean, he still has just the 2 town centres, but with 91 population, it obviously means that he has equal, if not greater, economy than Toady at the moment, and probably just by looking at the numbers, I mean, we can confirm there's 20 warships for JoN and 17 warships for Toady, so it's fairly close. The only difference really at this point is that JoN does have a stronger eco, and it looks like he is thinking about the Imperial Age soon. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, his gold count getting incredibly high at this point in time. I mean, he could go Imperial, but he's going to put up the 3rd TC first. I do think that is a better decision to make. You really want to have a strong enough eco before going Imperial, really. But I don't think he's going to be too far off, to be honest with you. He's got that gold count. Toady, on the other hand, well, he's not going to be thinking about it for a while, at any rate. I mean, he has got the 3 TCs, but his economy looks fairly... Well, it looks okay, but there's no villagers coming out of these TCs. That's the problem. Both of these guys are idle, which is obviously not good at all. And well, Toady still doesn't have any fishing ships, which is obviously causing him to lose out on quite a bit of food as well, which is what JoN does have, giving him that little bit of an edge to get that food in a little bit quicker, keep villager production going, and have surplus for the Imperial Age. Looks like JoN will get there first. Toady, on the other hand, as we say, just struggling to keep his villagers coming out, it seemed, though they are back on the production now, and he's going to keep making those farms. to get that food up. But like I say, I mean, lacking the fishing ships is a big deal, and I mean, there's a lot of deer here. And I think players really overlook the fact that deer and boar are still on the map in the Castle Age. You know, a mill from Toady, 5 or 6 villagers, they would get a lot of food from that, and I think it would certainly be worth it as well to take these deer here. That's a golden opportunity that he could take, but he's not taking. Still, both of them are having little skirmishes on the water in the very north of the map, and JoN just going back, which could mean he's gone up to the Imperial Age, or it could just mean he's going back. Seems like he's just going back. I'm not sure why. It doesn't seem like there's any particular reason, unless it's to protect these stables that are going up on the corner of Toady's Island. Perhaps he did not expect... perhaps Toady does not expect to see potentially knights then, I believe, coming out here. He's doing bloodlines, JoN that is doing bloodlines, and this will delay his Imperial Age, but he could have had the option. He could have clicked up to Imperial by now. That is for sure. But, as I said before, it would probably have been a little bit early. His economy probably wouldn't have been strong enough. But instead, I mean, he's opting to go with knights, and it might be risky, but if he does eco damage, it will definitely be worthwhile, because we know Toady has no fishing ships on the water, so therefore, making knights at this point and killing the land eco, JoN's going to know that he's definitely getting a solid advantage, and there's no fishing ships for Toady to fall back on here. 1,000 score lead now for JoN, just getting the lead, getting the edge as more knights are queued up, and he starts sinking some of that food into this knight production. Of course, Toady's got no idea that this is going on, has no vision at all, and you should probably consider town watch. You can see these houses don't have upgraded line of sight at all, which can be costly, and there's a bear going down, which means that JoN's attacked it with some fishing, with some ships or with something, that villager by the looks of things. So we're just waiting for these knights to come out now, and I think, let's have a look, Toady's eco, looking good, looking good. Worth noting as well, guys, this is the settings for this tournament are 300 population. So 300 population is the max, which means that 200 is actually not that much anymore. We might see bigger armies, we might see bigger economies and bigger fights if the game gets to that stage. But here comes JoN with his knights, bloodlines +2 defense done, and he's going to be looking to get some nice eco kills on Toady. And Toady not really reacting at all yet. No reaction from him whatsoever, even though those alarm sounds are going off. At the same time, JoN running his war galleys into Toady in the north. Toady looks like he's definitely going to win that one. Toady as well now finally garrisoning inside of these town centers, but the building is full, and the villagers at the bottom of the TC will die a bloody, painful death as they get cut down by knights. And there's the GG from Toady. Looks like it's going to be it. And what a game from JoN. What a game from JoN indeed. I mean, that was a very well played game by him. The landing from Toady at the start was timed fantastically. It did so much damage to JoN, and I still believe that JoN may have overreacted a little bit, but he did what he had to do to defend his base. And with that reaction, with that solid reaction to the landing from Toady there, coming back with a counter landing, he too getting pushed away, and then the game ending with yet another landing and knights storming into Toady's base to take the win for JoN. And what a great first game between these two guys, and that was game number 1, round 4 between Toady and JoN in the ZeroEmpires Invitational. Next game will be coming up fairly soon, so keep your eyes peeled and check it out. If you enjoyed this video, give it a little like, but for now, I've been Zach, and I will see you guys next time.